Okay, so I feel like this is like the best way to start this video. So I bought a dream game, you know, Oogie Games. Yeah, Metroid Prime Hunters. Let me show you a little bit. So not only I bought Metroid Prime Hunters, right? So I also bought like the demo version of the game too, which was, you know, like $10, but you know, like for collectors and all that shit, you know, like means a lot. And it also it includes Zero Mission for the Game Boy Advance. So now I have to buy a Game Boy Advance. But bro, like, come on, we're talking about the fucking remake of the. Yeah, I know. You people probably don't even know what the hell am I talking about. But dude, we're talking about Metroid. Dude, that shit is like childhood right there, you know? And yeah, I hate that they always put the fucking stickers like this, you know? But it doesn't matter, you know? They fucking have a complete, in case it included the fucking manual, you know? The instruction book. Like, bro, come on, man. Tonight, I'm gonna touch myself. Yo, hopefully you people can see this, but right here, there's that house. Fuck. That house that has.
Take the next left onto Dingan Street.
A mini ramp. I don't know if it's on the video, but fuck. I fucking want to skate that shit. Damn. Let the hair breathe. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah. So because the video started the way it started, I think I'm just gonna make a quick video where I'm gonna be talking about the things I like in general, you know, other than skateboarding. So, yeah. Maybe I'll give you a few samples and tell a story about it. Yep. Alright, so to start this video, since I started with this, I think I'm gonna talk about video games in general. That's one of my oldest passions that I had. I wish I had my collection from, you know, all the games that I had for like Nintendo 64, which is my favorite, you know, console of all time, to like you know, Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo is kind of like my favorite, you know, brand or company, you know, because of all the memory and nostalgia. And yeah, as you can see, you know, Metroid was and is probably like one of my favorite, you know, exclusive from the company. But you know, I also have like, I don't have any like Legend of Zelda. I hate Breath of the Wild, but I bought this classic Game & Watch, you know, that they were selling. I mean, it's not classic, of course. It's one of those like modern callbacks, you know, selling nostalgia. But I thought it was like nice, and I bought it. And yeah, so I have the Game & Watch. I don't know if I really want to like open it, but anyways, yeah. So video games with me is kind of like a love and hate relationship, because like I don't play as much as I used to play back in, you know, when I was a nobody. So I mean, I'm still a nobody, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, I think I spent so many hours. I think the game that I played a lot was Resident Evil 4 back on the GameCube, and that one was like, I remember one day me and my brother, we played that game and finish it in one day, you know. So it was like the full 8 hours, and we had a really good time, you know. And And yeah, video games are definitely the shit. I still watching videos to this day. I still expecting games that I know that I'm never gonna even play in my life, but I just cheer for them. And just I'm always there for video games. So yes, if you ask me what types of game do I like, I always gonna say storytelling. Why? Because I just like stories in general. I like to experience different stories and tell stories. Which, speaking of stories, I think yeah, I don't have my first ever comic book, but yeah, this is like the other topic. Comic books. I have Watchmen here. It's one of my favorites and one of the few comic books, graphic novels that I read. My first one was actually Kingdom Come from DC Comics, DC Universe, and that one I finished that comic book, graphic novel or whatever you call it, taking a shit. Yeah, I remember I was taking a shit and I read the last page in the toilet. So I was there for like an hour, but it was just me reading the comic book. It was so good, and oh my god, at the end, oh my Shazam, bro. That's what made me fall in love with all the whole like DC in general. And I wish they adapt that into a movie or a series like one day. Or maybe not. Just don't touch that shit. Like, yeah, Watchmen here is a really good graphic novel. Honestly, like, I like the movies. They're pretty good in their own way, in their own like space. I know it has like a lot of controversy because of the change of the ending and some of the ironic themes that it has. That with the movie, it's like playing it, giving it another meaning, which kind of like contradicts the book. But yeah, another book that I have that I'm not gonna lie, I haven't read it yet. I mean, finished yet. I started, but yeah, it's one of the ones that I'm reading right now is Mouse. I remember hearing from this like a while back ago, and I don't know if I can read something like, yeah. Anyways, it talks about the Holocaust and all that shit, World War II, etc. But I just like the art style of this. I think there's so much in this that might, change people's way of see things in real life, and like what people think, because this is a story, about like survival and all that shit, so yeah, classic fucking Nazi. I don't know, I think people just like the symbol, but I don't know why people keep telling the same story over and over. But that one is really good. I'm really into it. It kind of like, I don't know, for some reason it kind of reminds me of like The Pianist, that movie Adrien Brody, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, which takes me to my first movie that I ever worked, and probably like the only one that I'm ever gonna work in my life, because I'm not a filmmaker. That's my passion. I'm a poser. So yeah, the Headhunter. It's on YouTube. Hopefully you can see the title. Just Google it. I'm an extra in this. I'm actually in the background, but you're probably not gonna see that. It's like very blurry, super low quality stuff. It's a B movie. I tested the disc, it doesn't work. So yeah, that's how low budget, no budget it is. Yeah. But yeah, movies, I think that's my real passion. I hope one day I get to make my own, which it's been ups and downs with me, especially like this past year and this year, where I was actually making something, and something happens, like creative differences. But hey, who cares? Like I'm here, and I'm 23 to 24 years old now, so I still got a long time to plan better things. I've been writing a lot of stuff, and hopefully I get to do those, and before the war ends or something happens, right? Yeah. So speaking of movies, I just wanna, I don't know, show you and recommend you like Y Tu Mamá También, which is like Alfonso Cuarón, one of my favorites, like filmmakers, like that's speak the language, that my original language, like Spanish. I think he's one of the greatest. And this movie made me realize a lot of stuff that, yeah, like if he made it, like I want to be like him. I want to be like that. I don't know if you ever seen like Children of Men 2, like movies like that. And there's also like Babe, I think it was Babe. Yeah, like those movies, are made by, not, I would like to say Hispanic, but some of them are Spanish. But like filmmakers that doesn't speak the English language. I think people call them like for games. Anyways, the point is, that's what I want to be. One of those. Maybe one day, maybe I'm just gonna die from a stroke, or who cares? Yeah, there are big things, big dreams that you never know if they're gonna happen. They're like impossible. But if I was in a B, if I already work in one, that means it's possible. And I know it's kind of stupid to kind of like show like this one as my, but hey, I did something. I feel proud of it. Even though it, between you and me, it sucks. But that's the whole point. It's a B, low budget, nothing. And soon I might show on this channel something soon. But yeah, speaking of cinematic stuff and blah blah blah, True Detective. I don't know, I just wanted to talk about a TV series that I really like. True Detective is a recommend. I have better than this, like Barry, for example. That's one that I'm just watching right now, and it just keeps blowing my mind. That's definitely my favorite of all time. And there's also like Breaking Bad, there's like Sopranos, but those are like TV series like you probably have seen before. But True Detective, it kind of like gives me that Seven vibes, like that thriller, kind of like detective noir type of story. And Matthew McConaughey here and Woody, bro, like their chemistry is just something that I've never seen in a TV show before. There's also shows like Peaky Blinders that are, I think, on Netflix, are really good. But this and this is just season 1. Like this is like the creme de la creme. Like the first one, the only one that matters, because there's also like season 3 that people say, which Marshall Ali, I think that's his name, that it's alright. Like I just know that I didn't pass the Colin Farrell one. That one sucks. And oh, I forgot. I don't have my 4K version of it. That one is on Puerto Rico with my whole video game collection. But there's also, like something I would like to speak about, which is Apocalypse Now, my number 1 movie of all time. One that literally made me shake after I watched it for the first time. I was shaking, and I didn't watch this version. I watched the Redux version, which is like the best version, the most fucked up horror. That's all you need to know. And there's also like movies like Before Sunrise, one of my favorites, movies of all time. I can speak about movies forever, but the thing is, like, this is just a short video that's taking too long. And yeah, I think last but not least, Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, I like anime, not much, not a lot, like the same way that I like, let's say, movies and video games, but anime definitely holds a special place in my heart, especially Cowboy Bebop, because Cowboy Bebop is just, oh my god, it's just something else, it's like, to the point where, so yeah, I don't know, we have like a Spike Spiegel fishing with Ein and all that tattoos. Hopefully you saw that. I don't care if this video sucks. Hey, the whole point of this is just for you to see a day in life with me. So yeah, hopefully this is recording, and the video got cut short, but yeah, I was just saying bye and all that shit. So yeah, hopefully I don't know what I was gonna say, but yes and yes and yes, and yeah, that's the video. So peace.